Hello Lawbeings, welcome to first subject related explanation video in my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to learn about pre and post independent India's legal system, evolution of courts or simply history of courts. Okay, let's get into the video. On 31st December 1600 in UK, a group of merchants formed a company for trade and commerce in various continents. This company is named as the Governor of Company Merchants of London and Trading. Okay, remember the name, the Government of Company Merchants of London and Trading. This company approached the British government. Okay, this company approached the British government. British government issued a charter or notification on 1600. According to this notice, British government gave permission to Dutch people or the company to trade and commerce in different continents including Asia. This also includes India. First Queen Elizabeth gave permission to this charter. So this charter is called as famously known as 1600 Charter Act. Okay, this is all about 1600 Charter Act. As the company expanded to various continents, this company reached India through Arctic Ocean or Hindu Ocean. After reaching in India, the 500 members settled here and they formed or elected the shareholders with one governor and 24 directors. Okay, remember, one governor and 24 directors formed with 500 members and they formed as a company. The governor is the head of the company and these 24 directors subordinated the governor. Here in this company, the term for the governor is 1 year. And also remember, the British government exclusively gave permission to this company only. At that time, India was under Mughal Empire control, or King Mughal Emperor was Jahangir. At that time, the king was Jahangir 1608 to 1627. And in India, the ambassador was Sir Thomas Rao, was sent to Mughal Empire court to take permission within their territory to expand this company. After certain negotiations, Jahangir gave permission to trade within their territory and also disputes are arrived. The disputes were settled by their company only. If there were any disputes, that disputes should be settled within their company only. Now let's see the formation of East India Company. As the company named, the governor of company merchants of London and Trading got the permission from Jahangir to trade within their territory and also disputes are served within their company. They tried to expand more and the company servants travelled via sea route and reached Surat. Okay, remember, the first destination point is Surat in India. As they were travelled from west to east, this company is named as East India Company. Okay, this company is named as East India Company. MCQs will be come from this topic. Please do remember the name East India Company, and the first is Surat. The first destination is Surat. And in 1612, they established a trade center at Surat, or their first point in Surat. This Surat is the headquarters of this company. As they first arrived in Surat, this became their headquarters. As we discussed earlier, the members among themselves formed one governor and 24 directors, and the term for the governor is 1 year. They converted this into their administration staff. Part of this administration, this governor and 24 directors appointed one director and 3-member councils at Surat. Okay, for working of this company in Surat. Okay, one director and 3-member councils at Surat under the British company governor, and directors as subordinates up to 1667. Okay, this company with the headquarters in Surat worked in the same format like 24 directors and one governor for the company, and as a part of this headquarters, one director and 3 members. This is how it worked up to 1667. As a part of expanding their company, East India Company, the administrative justice system developed into three prestigious towns. They expanded themselves in three prestigious towns, namely Mumbai, Madras, and Calcutta. So now we are going to discuss about Madras Presidency Town. Okay, in this first stage we are going to discuss about Madras Presidency Town, where Madras Presidency Town is divided into three stages. First stage, second stage, and third stage. First stage is from 1639 to 1665. Second stage is from 1665 to 1683, and third stage is from 1683 to 1723. In stage 1, in this stage, in 1639, the East India Company Governor Francis Day acquired a piece of land from local king of Madras at that time, 3rd Venkatapati Raya. In that piece of land, East India constructed a fortified factory named St. George Fort in 1639 near the Madras railway station. Okay, they constructed a fortified factory for St. George Fort was constructed near the Madras railway station. In that fort, East India Company started trading within that fort area only, and they used to live within that fort. Inside the fort area is known as White Town, where English servants and British people live inside the White Town, whereas outside the fort area is known as Black Town. All the native people live outside the fort. Okay, the whole White Town and Black Town is known as Madras. The whole Madras was divided into White Town and Black Town, where White Town is where the people inside the fort lived, where British people and the English servants, where in Black Town all the native people of Madras used to live. As the part of administration in Madras, Surat Administrative Justice System appointed agent or counsel to Madras Administrative Justice for both White Town and Black Town. The main duty of agent or counsel is to develop trade and commerce in Madras area. Okay, the main duty is to develop trade and commerce in Madras area. They both have executive and judiciary rights, where for the agent and counsel have both executive and judiciary rights. East India Company established a court at White Town called Agency and Council. Okay, remember how the first court was formed? The first court was formed under East India Company at Madras, and for the White Town people. Okay, remember, for the White Town people, and this was named as Agency and Council. Remember the name, Agency and Council. And at Black Town, called as Chowdhury Court. For the white people there is a separate court, and for the Black people there is a Black Town people there is a separate court. Sorry for mentioning Black people, I mean Black Town people. For White Town people, the court was Agency and Council, where all the executive and judiciary matters were discussed, and for the Black Town people, Chowdhury Court, where all the executive and judiciary rights were listened. Chowdhury Court exercises its duty within Black Town. There is a headman called Kannappa, or we call him as Adhikari. Okay, in Black Town reside a headman Kannappa or Adhikari, and in Chowdhury Court exercises duty within the Black Town. Okay, Agency and Council Court is the head of Chowdhury Court. Okay, as we see, agency for Chowdhury Court, Agency and Council Court is the head, and it is presided over by the agent or judge. Here, from the Chowdhury Court, appeals should be listened by agents or council court. Okay, appeals from the Chowdhury Court goes to Chowdhury Agency or Council Court. Chowdhury Court is like a sub-court, where the appeals from the Chowdhury Court goes to Agency and Council Court, where it is the head of Madras, or the top court in Madras area for White Town people. And remember, both Agency and Council Court and Chowdhury Court doesn't have a right to dispose murder case. Remember, this court doesn't have a right to dispose murder case. The murder case should be served or reported to Governor General of Surat. The murder cases goes to Governor General of Surat. Chowdhury Court deals with only petty cases, whereas agency and council code deals with civil and criminal cases. Remember, this court doesn't have a right to dispose the murder case, and we discussed this murder cases goes to Governor General of Surat. According to the agency and council code, the only rule is governor and council members only have a right to dispose severe cases. This court has a right to dispose severe cases. This is all about the stage 1, in which we see about formation of courts in Madras, and White Town have a separate court, Black Town have a separate court, and their working system. Okay, now let's move to stage 2. In 1665, the Madras area town upgraded as presidential town under East India Company. Okay, it was upgraded as presidential town under East India Company. Agent and council members redesignated as governor and council members. Okay, agent and council members were redesignated as governor and council members. They got the right to solve severe cases like murder cases, etc. In stage 2, they got right to solve murder cases. Remember, in stage 1 there is no right to solve murder cases. In stage 2, the agent and council court got right to solve murder cases. Okay, the agent and council court got its right to solve severe cases like murder cases from a case. Okay, in stage 1 there was a person called Miss Ancilia Dio. She was culprit for a murder. She was culprit of a murder. This case came to agency and council. As this was a murder case, it was went to Surat governor and council. To solve this case and to give a quick judgment, Madras court was updated by the Surat governor and council. This case came back to the Madras governor and council. Finally, in this case, Miss Cecilia Dio was acquitted from criminal case as she was an English person, obviously, where English people were treated as kings at that time, at that British era, and this case was disposed and she was acquitted from that case. From this case onwards, the Madras court got its right to solve severe cases like murder case. Okay. In stage 2, the Chowdhury court was upgraded too. In Chowdhury court, there were 2 more judges appointed and there were total 3 judges. Okay. Before, in Chowdhury court, there was only 1 judge, and in stage 2, there were 3 judges. This court have a right to impose case up to 50 pagodas. Okay. As we say, pagodas means gold coins. At that time, they use only gold coins. Whereas 1 pagoda is equals to 3 rupees. Okay. 1 pagoda is equals to 3 rupees. So, Chowdhury court has a right to impose the case up to 50 pagodas. That means up to 150 rupees. As per today's scenario, we see 50 pagodas only they can impose. Moving to stage 3 in Madras Presidency town. In 1683 and 1685, in 1683, the East India Company employee or Director General approached to British King and gave a complaint that other Britishers disturbing their business. Okay, the East India Company employees went to the British King and gave a complaint that other Britishers disturbing their business. The British government issued another charter called 1683 Charter. Okay, here the 1683 Charter was started to establish a new court to control piracy, black marketing and of other Britishers. They used to fight among themselves, so that's why this charter was established, 1683 Charter. Okay, it was established to a new court to control piracy, black marketing of other Britishers, and it was modified in 1686 and it was renamed as 1686 Charter. In 1683 to 1684, Admiralty Courts was established. Okay. In this Admiralty Courts, murder, marital, petty, all cases were solved to punish the offences of mercantile cases. John Dalby was appointed in the year 1692 and he gave judgment according to English law. In 1694, he was withdrawn or resignated from his post. From 1694 to 1704, this Admiralty courts run by Governor of Madras. Okay. 1694 to 1704, these Admiralty courts were run by Governor of Madras. As now, in 1687, East India Company appointed a new court called Mayor's Court. Okay, East India Company appointed a new court called Mayor's Court. In Madras Presidency, Mayor's Court was established with permission of British government. Mayor Corporation was established because in 1687 the governor of White Town imposed taxes on Black Town people for development of White Town or revenue taxes. Okay, this court was established because the White Town people used to impose taxes on Black Town people for their development. In that time, the governor and administration realized that to get support from black people, and they established this corporation for development and administration. Remember, it was the first corporation in India and its main objective is to involve black people in administration also. In Mayor's Court, they started to involve black people in administration. Okay, up to that, only English people used to see about administration. After establishment of Mayor's Court, black people started to involve in administration works. The main objective is to involve black people in administration and to collect revenue from black people. They involve black people to collect revenue from the black people. Okay. This Mayor's Court composition is 1 mayor, 12 administrators and 60 to 120 alternate people. Mayor's lifetime is 1 year, in which 12 administrators, there should be 3 English people and 9 Indian people. And their working time is lifetime, where 60 to 120 people also lifetime, they can work. When mayor is not present, 3 Englishmen only eligible for occupancy, but not 9 other men. When there was an absence of mayor, only 3 Englishmen could occupy, but not 9 other men, Indian men. The duty of Mayor's Court is to look after Madras and to collect revenue within the territory only. Okay, this is all about Mayor's Court. This is all about Madras Presidency's town and its administrations. It was seen in 3 different stages. In first stage, we have seen about formation of White Town and Black Town and its administration, and later it was developed in second stage, and in third stage there were Admiralty Court and Mayor's Court were formed, and we have seen the working and its duties about Mayor's Court and its duties. This is how the administration or justice system in Madras used to work. Now let's see about Bombay Presidency town. Okay, now it's Mumbai. In that time we used to call as Bombay Presidency town. The Bombay Presidency town created when the city of Bombay was leased in fee tail to East India Company. It was leased to East India Company by a royal charter. It was leased by a royal charter from the King of England, Charles III, who had twin acquired in May 11, 1661. Okay, it was leased to East India Company. So that's why in Bombay they used to establish this East India Company. First they travelled to Mumbai and Bombay was leased by royal charter. This was also divided into 3 stages: 1668 to 1683 stage 1, 1684 to 1690 stage 2, and in 1718 to 1726 stage 3. Now let's see the judicial reforms of 1670. Judicial reforms of 1670. General Gerald reorganized the old judicial setup of Bombay, and all laws were classified into 6 sections. They are related to freedom of worship and religious beliefs. The Bombay was divided into 2 divisions. Each division had a court of 5 judges. Here, Bombay was divided into 2 divisions, where each division had a court of 5 judges. The customs officer of each division, an Englishman, prescribed these courts. Okay, a custom officer and Englishman prescribed these courts. The new judicial plan of 1672 was started. The Central Court of Judicature was established and presided by a single judge. Here also, same as Madras, a single judge court was established. Bombay was divided into 4 divisions in the new judicial plan of 1672. Each division was headed by an Englishman called Justice of Peace. Englishman was called as Justice of Peace. He acted as committed magistrate. Okay, he used to act as committed magistrate. The Court of Conscience was established. It uses to decide petty cases summarily without charging fees from the litigants. They doesn't use to charge any fees from the litigants. In which court? Court of Conscience. And later Admiralty courts was established, which was similar to that of Madras, as we discussed in the Madras courts. The Court of Judicature, it consisted of a chief justice and 9 other judges. As a part of new judicial plan 1672, the Central Court of Judicature, where single judge was there, and Bombay was divided into 4 divisions, where Englishman was called as Justice of Peace, and the Court of Conscience used to decide petty cases. Admiralty courts was same as in Madras, and the Court of Judicature, it was consisted of Chief Justice and 9 judges. In this Court of Judicature, this court tries all civil, criminal and testamentary cases. Okay, this is all about new judicial plan of 1672 of Mumbai. Later, Calcutta Presidency Town. Okay, as we discussed, East India Company established in 3 presidency towns, Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. We discussed about Madras, Bombay, and now we left with Calcutta. Okay, let's see Calcutta's presidency town. All the appeals in the Calcutta were used to hear by governor and councils. In 1690, the English merchants found a settlement at Sultanate. Okay, remember, in 1690, English merchants found a settlement place called as Sultanate, a site where future Calcutta developed. Okay, now called as Kolkata. At that time, we used to call as Calcutta. In 1698, they secured zamindari rights over Sultanate. In 1698, they secured zamindari rights over Sultanate, Calcutta and Gobindpur. Okay, Calcutta and Gobindpur. The company established Fort William at Calcutta in 1700. Remember the name, Fort William. And the Faujdari courts were established. The collector decided criminal cases of the natives of 3 villages, Sultanate, Gobindpur and Calcutta. These villages of Sultanate, Gobindpur and Calcutta, in these 3 towns where there would be any criminal cases, that would be tried by collector. Okay, that would be decided by collector. The criminal was punished by whipping. Okay, imposing fines, imprisonment and banishment or workloads. Whipping was now removed from punishments in Indian Penal Code. Okay, remember, at that time whipping used to there, that was removed in Indian Penal Code present. Justice administered by local jamindaris. Okay, here the justice were administered by local jamindaris. Each jamindar held a kachari or adalat and decided all civil cases. Jamindari is used to decide all civil cases according to the customs of that country. Nawab court at Mushirabad. Okay, now Nawab court at Mushirabad was also a sub-court under collector. a death sentence was confirmed by Nawab. Okay, to confirm a death sentence, that used to be a Nawab court. They started to shift the factories near the area called Mofsil area. Okay, they started their shifting the factory. That area used to call as Mofsil's area. The Regulating Act of 1773 or the Act of Settlement, the two major enactments in Indian legal history. Remember the name, Regulating Act of 1773 and the Act of Settlement. The judicial system by the Fort William, Calcutta, founded in 1774, okay, by the Regulating Act of 1773. By Fort William, under Regulating Act 1773, Calcutta was found in 1774, and British India's highest court was from 1774. Okay, the highest court under British India was in 1774. It was run from 1774 until 1862, when the High Court of Calcutta was established by Indian High Court Act 1861. Later, they removed all the names, Mofsil courts and all, and they renamed as Supreme Courts and High Courts. The Supreme Court was in Calcutta, and 1774 to 1862, when High Court of Calcutta was established by the Indian High Court Act 1861. And also Supreme Court of Judicature 1774, on March 26, 1774. Remember that date, March 26, 1774, a Charter of Justice was granted for establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta. King George III. It was established under King George III. The Supreme Court established on 22nd October 1774 and functioning started on Jan 1775. Okay, the Supreme Court established on 22nd October 1774 and functioning started in 1775. The Supreme Court consisted of one Chief Justice and three regular of puisne judges. This puisne judge had to the barrister of law at England. Okay, to be a judge at this court, the judge had to be barrister at law of England. Okay, should be from England or Ireland of not less than 5 years standing. They should study from law from England or Ireland and should be standing counsel up to 5 years, with not less than 5 years, to be a judge in puisne courts and Calcutta. Clause: the jurisdiction of Supreme Court 1774 should only to the Calcutta region, person directly or indirectly employed by the command of under the service of Majesty's subject, and exceeding the limit 500 rupees. And there should be a regulations under this jurisdiction of 1774 Act. Supreme Court of India after independence. The Supreme Court of India came into existence on 26 January 1950 and it is located on Tilak Marg, New Delhi. This is all about the evolution of legal system in India or the history of courts. I hope you all clear with the topic. If you have any doubts, please leave it in the comment section. I hope you all like the video. If you like the video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe.